this lecture, you will be able to describe the gross anatomy and the location of the adrenal gland. You must be able to discuss the neurovascular supply of the adrenal gland. You must be able to discuss the histological feature of the adrenal gland and the common condition associated with the adrenal gland. So adrenal gland are also termed to be as a suprarenal gland. These are the paired endocrine gland situated on the superior pole of each kidney. So by location, they are the retroperitoneal structure. So the retroperitoneal structure, as the name suggests, that they are present at the posterior aspect of the peritoneum. Only the interior surface of each gland covered by the peritoneum, while the rest of the gland is covered by only its own connective tissue capsule. This gland is supplied by the multiple sources of the blood vessels. So it is a richly supplied gland, blood supplied gland. That's why it directly secretes its secretion into the blood circulation, and the secretion included the steroidal hormone and the catecholamines that control the different body functions. So by location, if we remove all the peritoneal structure and visualize the posterior abdominal wall, we could easily identify the kidney and these two suprarenal glands on the superior pole of the kidney. They embedded into the perinephric fascia and the perinephric fat, but they easily be separated from the capsule of the kidney by a thin septa. So they are present on the superior aspect. The right suprarenal gland is somewhat pyramidal in shape, while the left one is somewhat semilunar in shape. By relation, each suprarenal gland posteriorly related with the diaphragm, and the part of the diaphragm that is the crura of the diaphragm is in the posterior relation of the right and the left adrenal gland. Anteriorly, on the right side, it is related with the inferior vena cava and the right lobe of the liver, while on the left side it is related with the stomach and the part of the pancreas and the small part of the spleen. So on cut section, the adrenal gland could be visualized by a two structure that is called the, if we take the cut section, the two distinct zone could easily be identified. Outer one is a paler one and the inner one is a darker one. Outer paler part is called as a cortex, while the inner paler part is a darker part is called as a medulla. So adrenal gland consists or covered by the connective tissue capsule and the cortex and medulla, and it also contain a hilum through which the vein and the lymphatic enter or exit out from the gland. Now the cortex is a yellowish in color and it secretes two cholesterol drive hormones, that is the corticosteroid and the androgens. Functionally, cortex can be divided into three regions: from superficial to deep, zona glomerulosa, fasciculata and reticularis. Glomerulosa secrete the mineralocorticoids such as aldosterone. The fasciculata responsible to secrete the corticosteroid, that is the cortisol, and a small amount of androgens, while the reticularis, it only secrete the androgens. And another part of the gland, that is the innermost central portion of the gland, that is the darker area, contain a large number of sinusoidal capillaries with a large population of the chromaffin cells, and these cells are responsible to secrete the catecholamines to control the stress response. As it is an endocrine gland, these glands are supplied by the number of blood sources, and these number of blood vessels arises from three distinct sources. So it has superior suprarenal artery, middle suprarenal artery, and the inferior suprarenal artery. Superior suprarenal artery is the branch that arises from the inferior phrenic artery. Okay, and the middle arises directly from the abdominal aorta, while inferior phrenic artery arises as ascending branch from the right and the left renal artery. So it receives the blood from three distinct sources. Venous drainage is simple, but it is slightly different from left one from the right one, as the right vein directly drain into the inferior vena cava, while the left one, it first drain into the left renal vein, and the left renal vein drain into the inferior vena cava. Nerve supply is preganglionic sympathetic fibers are derived from the they also receive the splanchnic nerves that supply the gland, and these are also the celiac plexuses. They control the secretory activity of the gland. Also act as a post ganglionic fibers because it directly secrete the secretion into the blood. So adrenal gland covered by the connective tissue, and the connective tissue send the septa to divide the gland into the trabeculated gland into the three distinct zones. It contain outermost yellowish part and the innermost darker part. Yellowish part is consist of three zones: zona glomerulosa, fasciculata, and reticularis, and the inner zone consists of the chromophene secreting cells. So histologically, the cortex of adrenal gland arranged in three distinct zones. It almost consists of 85 to 95% of the glandular thickness. So that part further divided into three distinct zones. The outer part is called as glomerulosa, the middle part is called as a fasciculata, and the inner part is called as a reticularis. Glomerulosa is a narrow part, is situated just beneath the capsule and consists of only 15% of the cortical volume. Thickest zone is the intermediate zona fasciculata, and it constitutes almost 75 to 80% of the cortical volume, while the innermost zone constitutes the 5 to 7% of the cortical volume. Okay, so these are the three distinct zones could easily be identified on the H&E staining. Now first of all, the outermost zona glomerulosa. Zona glomerulosa lies just beneath the capsule, and it is composed of a columnar type of or the pyramidal type of cells, and these cells arrange into clusters or curved column. They arrange in clusters or in curved column, and in between these curved there are the fenestrated plexus of the fenestrated capillaries present. Zona glomerulosa contain the darkly stained acidophilic cells, and within the cytoplasm they contain the dark nuclei cells, and the cytoplasm contain the abundant smooth endoplasmic reticulum, well developed Golgi complexes, and the large mitochondria with shelf like cristae and the few lipid droplets. Okay, only the few lipid droplets. They are responsible to secrete the mineralocorticoid, and the main mineralocorticoid secreted by the glomerulosa is the aldosterone, and it is responsible to maintain the fluid and electrolyte. So only the few Fred droplet could be visualized, but the difference is it contains dark stained nuclei. Beneath the glomerulosa, there are a population of the cells arranged in columns or straight cords, and it also almost comprises of 80% of the cortical volume. These are the polyhedral cells arranged in long straight cords, and that one or two cells thickens and runs at a right angle. They run at a right angle of the capsule of the cortex. Each cellular cord has adjacent sinusoidal space lined by the endothelial cells. The cells are larger as compared to the glomerulosa cells, and they are filled up with the fat droplets. So on H&E staining, they appears to be a clear shiny cells and bulging cell, because the cytoplasm of each cell is filled up with a large number of the fat droplet, and during H&E staining it is washed out, appears to be as a clear shiny cells. They contain the lightly stained nuclei, likely stained nucleus, and the cell may be uninucleated or sometime containing the binucleated cells also. So the differentiation between the glomerulosa and fasciculatus, the cells are larger in size. Cytoplasm contain large number of the fat droplet. Beside the large number of the fat droplet, it also contains the large population of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi complexes. They are responsible to secrete the corticosteroid, and that corticosteroid is responsible to regulate the carbohydrate, protein and lipid metabolism, and it as an anti-inflammatory effect on the body. So in this cut section, which we can easily identify the column shape arrangement of the zona fasciculata perpendicular to the capsule of the gland. Then the inner population is the reticularis. They are again the rounded or polyhedral shape cells, but they are the smaller as compared to the diameter or the cellular volume is smaller as compared to the fasciculata and the glomerulosa. The nuclei are darker, and the cell may be contain the abundant lipofuscin pigmented granule. The arrangement of the cell is in the reticular form arrangement, so the crisscross branching pattern could easily be visualized on H&E staining at low as well as higher magnification. It contain a very small population of the fat droplet in their cytoplasm. They are responsible to secrete the androgens, and the weak effect of these androgens is the weak masculinizing effect and the hair growth in the female. Now the innermost portion of the gland is comprises of medulla, and that medulla is not sharply delimited from the cortex, but the population of the cell could easily be visualized, it easily be separated out from the cortex to the medulla. They are small clusters of the cells, but the cell size are larger as compared to the cortical cells, and they appears to be a weakly basophilic in staining. They are called the chromophene cells because the granules of these cells is stained with the potassium bichromate, and the chromophene cells comprises of correspond of adrenaline secretion of 80%, while the noradrenaline secretion of 20%. So we can easily differentiate between the medulla from the cortex. So the medulla contain anastomosing cords of large epithelioid cells because it is neuroectodermal in origin, so that's why it is called as the epithelioid cells. They are abundant population of these chromophene cells, large diameter of the sinusoidal capillaries, nerve and the sympathetic ganglion cells may be present, and these sympathetic ganglionic cells are the small rounded polygonal with the prominent nuclei. Chromophore cells, they are the pheochromocytes. They are pale staining epithelioid cells, larger in diameter. They arrange in ovoid cluster, show short interconnecting cords, and the large capillaries, sinusoidal capillary network are surrounded by these cells. The cytoplasm of these cells contain the granules, and these granules are responsible to secrete the adrenalines and the noradrenalines. These granules are the electron dense or electron highly dense, or the electron less denser cells. Highly denser cells are responsible to secrete the norepinephrine producing cells, and the less or homogeneous or non dense cells are responsible to secrete the adrenaline, but they could only be visualized on the electron microscopic examination. So the picture of H&E stain could easily be differentiated between the fasciculata, reticularis, and the darkly stained medullary cells. Some clinical condition may associated with the hyper or the hyposecretion of the gland. The hyposecretion is commonly present with the Addison's disease, while the excessive secretion appears to be as a Cushingoid syndrome. So in the Addison's disease, there is the patient may presented with the hyperpigmentation, with low blood pressure, weakness, and because the adrenal gland is not able to produce a sufficient amount of steroidal hormones. There may be gastrointestinal condition associated with or presented with the Addison's disease, that is nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain. There may be vitiligo, and the crisis may result into the syncope, convulsions, hypoglycemia, hyponatremia, severe vomiting, and diarrhea. The hypersecretion presented with the Cushingoid syndrome, the patient may have fat hump, buffalo hump type of deposition on the back of the shoulder region. There may be pendulous abdomen, stria, pigmented stria or reddish stria may be visualized on the abdominal region and the thigh, buttocks. The skin is so thin, can easily be bruised. The flush or the moon face with red flushy appearance, and the skin is so thin. The patient may present it with high blood pressure, thin, and the leg and the arms are thin as compared to the whole body. The condition associated with the medulla, that is the secretion, hyposecretion or the hypersecretion. The hypersecretion may be due to the benign tumor of the adrenal gland, and the patient may present it with the high blood pressure, uncontrolled blood pressure. So the diaphoresis or the profuse sweating, palpitation, or headache may be the presenting complaint of the patient with the pheochromocytoma. And if the patient is young, so we must think about the pheochromocytoma.